Hey, I'm Kev, welcome back to MotoGP 17 and the manager career. So we're heading to Italy and the Misano World Circuit. Marco Simoncelli, named after the late 2008 250cc World Champion. And this circuit is very challenging, especially with those weather conditions overhead. Look how cloudy it is. It could be rain or sunshine for the race. Let's concentrate on this one lap effort as you got this very tight section to begin that happened for the first half. It's very tight and you just get to carry momentum through these corners, and in the second half of the lap it really does open up the fast right-handers, and that's where MacDonald will perhaps be a bit fast. In this first section be a bit slow against the opponents, but in that second half of the lap he should be very fast. But he's carrying momentum pretty well down onto this back straight. There's not many straights around here, it's a bit bendy at times as you go through the left-hand kick and then into the heaviest braking zone on this circuit, getting it down into the apex for the hairpin. Doesn't really matter, you can go wide as well. We're taking some alternate lines through that hairpin depending on how we're battling and what we have to do heading towards the double right-hander, where in Moto3 we had Arnold Canet being super fast through here. Who are we going to look out for in Moto2 for these couple of corners? But now this lap does open up around a circuit where MacDonald's been pretty decent in the past, especially in qualifying. Even on that Peugeot back in the Moto3 days, it was pretty good in qualifying. The races have never really worked out around here apart from the odd occasion, as that qualifying lap always ended as it. Yes, he's messed up going onto the curb there through the second right, through the third right, now into the fourth right. But again, we have to look out for someone diving down our inside into that hairpin. But the last couple of corners are pretty decent for MacDonald. This left hander, you can take that pretty fast in third gear, and then the final corner a bit deceptive. You can brake early and case so much speed through it instead of braking a bit later than chasing the speed through the corner. But you can see good run onto the front stretch, and we're just going to be sudden on 1 minute 40.7. Pretty decent effort, I feel, apart from that major mistake he made in the fast right-handers. But yeah, this is a track where MacDonald's got good speed in the past, so hopefully it carries on here as he showed great, fantastic speed around Silverstone as well. And look at this in qualifying, he's on the third row alongside Nakagami and Shorter so far as it goes to the end of the session, and he is in between the Japanese and German rider. Fantastic effort from MacDonald to be in the top 10 with the master tactician Savvy rounding that out ahead of Danny Kent and Luca Marini, while at the top is Franco Morbidelli ahead of his Mark VDS teammate Alex Marquez and Thomas Luthi on the Interwritten machine. Then on the second row we've got Miguel Oliveira, Mattia Piscini and Lorenzo Baldassarri. We've got a couple of battalions there and effectively on home turf. Yes, it's the San Marino Grand Prix, but it's a bit like Imola was to F1 where it's actually held in Italy is the circuit, but it's called the San Marino Grand Prix. Well, Jack Van is down in 27th with the Spaniard right at the back, so a decent qualifying for the Elusive Twins. But let's see what they can do in the race. Can they move forward like we especially saw out from MacDonald in Silverstone? There is light still on the second page of the grid, but look at that, he's getting mobbed into the first corner. Don't want that to happen, but he has been getting decent starts in Moto2, so he can maybe look to make 1 or 2 positions up into that first corner or into the second corner. As you see, they just flow into each other. There's Magnum in 27th, and looking further back there's the Spaniard on his own special row on row 12, as we don't have Gavin Emmett once again talking over the top as this is like Silverstone post-commentated, where the live commentary just messed up and I couldn't fix the audio. So you're hearing the music in the background, that would have been a dead giveaway as well. But you can see, we're waiting for the lights to appear and go out for this 7-lap race. It's a long race around here in Misano. Look at that wheel spin from the front row in front of us as MacDonald tries to slide into the second row. Can't quite make it into the first corner, but he can set up into the left. He's going down the inside, around the outside of Olivier, down the inside of Piscini and Baldassarri, down the inside of Alex Marquez, as well as he's up to third behind Luthi and Morbidelli. Fantastic start from MacDonald there. Didn't quite get into the first corner, but going through the second and third corners, and again carrying that momentum. Looking very good as Olivier's up to 5th ahead of Baldassarri as he go on to the back straight. He's got a superb run on Luthi. Goes down the inside of the Swiss veteran and now got the slipstream off Franco Morbidelli heading into the hairpin. We're going to see many moves into this corner of this race, and MacDonald is making a move for the lead. But the Italian does not want to give it up on that Mark VDS machine, and here comes Luthi from nowhere. Where did he come from? Well, Thomas, fantastic job from the veteran to take the lead, and now here comes Morbidelli. Is it into the double right? Yes, he is. I told you we had to look out for someone, and here comes Oliveira. He's got past Marquez as well, up to 4th place for the Portuguese ride on that KTM. always up there, isn't he? Miguel has, here comes MacDonald through the fast rights. This is where he's going to make up some time. Braving that first right-hander into the second, having a little nook down the inside. Morbidelli as he gets alongside into the third right-hander. He's down. Oh, what have you done, MacDonald? As Oliveira's down, oh, it's catastrophe here in Misano. As Marquez is back up into third with Oliveira down. MacDonald battling the fight back in there as he gets the power down. He's behind Xavier Simon. Of course, he's up the train stick ahead of Navarro. We've got Dominic Agata running out the top 15 and in final points playing position. But it's all about MacDonald now fighting to get back into that position. And as he crossed the line in 90th at the end of the first lap, Luti leads ahead of Morbidelli. Isaac Vinales in front of us in 18th. It's the Spaniards. And we've got Corsi past Remy Gardner on that Tech 3 machine up to 21st. The Italians on off flyer, it looks like, on that speed up machine as MacDonald up to 16th, looking to make his way past Agata, is it here, or Cortez? He has their Linus Stern, very similar looking boys, very similar helmets, and very similar result for MacDonald as he goes down once again. Oh, that was a clumsy move. He made a really clumsy one into the first couple of corners of this lap, but that was even clumsier. What was he doing? He's down to 27th now, behind Raffin, behind Nakashima, as now he's got to fight his way through the field once again. You're not going to do it like that, MacDonald, but going into the runoff area and going wide as Raffin gets past Navarro for 24th. MacDonald gets his way back into the top 30 up to 29th. Nakashima past Navarro now for 25th. Jorge, he's just moving backwards this race. We've got Pons and Manzi in front, and MacDonald almost into the back of Edgar. I think that is Edgar Pons, or I get confused with the bikes again. They're blue and white. It could be anyone going to it for me. So going past into 28th, he's got past A Pons, and now we've got Manzi in front, the Italian in 27th. MacDonald trying to go down the inside, but oh, you got to look in front of him, MacDonald. What are you doing going into the back of someone? His third crash, his second on this lap, and he's back down to last where he deserves to be, as he's 1.5 seconds behind Locatelli. No, make that Powdy as the Italian gets past the Malaysian at the end of this second lap, and Lucy with another fast at 41.3 as we go into the final corner. The Swiss rider, he's in our battle for fourth as well. Remember, MacDonald got into the top 5. He's battling for that position with Lucy in this final third of the season, this 13th round of 18, and in this one it's going to be a turning point for that battle as Lucy's winning. MacDonald at the other end of the grid, the bookmarking the field. But here we go on to this third lap. MacDonald fighting the back end for this first couple of corners, but holding on to the bike. Now easing his way to the back of the field. He's looking down the inside a bit too far back into the right-hander as Pisani, or I can't pronounce his name, but Locatelli has dropped down to 32nd as MacDonald gets his way past Paoli, and now here we go into the slipstream of the Italian. MacDonald looking down the inside. We're going to see loads of moves, as I said, into this corner. MacDonald about to make another one, or he breaks a bit early, very cautious, but he's trying to get a run out the corner as he got a switchback maneuver on his rival. Yes, he has up to 32nd, looking down the inside for 31st on Bassani, and oh, here comes Locatelli. Oh, it forces MacDonald wide, and now he's got to cover off Paoli, but the Malaysian doesn't seem to be making a move, so he's down to 33rd, but he's got some good slipstream heading into the fast right-handers. Can MacDonald make his way through these right-handers? Oh, he gets into the back of Locatelli. Looking around the outside of Rashani. Oh, he's going wide. It's just like his qualifying effort, is it? No, he's calmed it down. He's finally got through the fast right-hand supers. Looking down the inside of the Spaniard. He always a bit too far back. In 31st now as MacDonald heading into the final sector of this third lap. He's looking down the inside of the Spaniard into the corner. One of his favourites on this track. One of his strongest as well. Good move from MacDonald, as always. A bit clumsy move heading into the final corner, but he's up to 29 ahead of Pons, I believe that is, and now he's got some slipstream as he goes across the line. Does a 41.2. He's definitely got speed around this circuit, MacDonald does. I think that is the fastest lap from him. Yes, it is. But he's down in 29. He's got lots of work to do. He gets past Yoni, gets past Jorge as well. Navarro he kind of eased blocked there, the Colombian, and that allowed MacDonald to make that switchback maneuver. Still clumsy from him though, as you see, but he survives. Finally, he survives a move like that as he's behind Manzi in 26th, as the home crowd will be booing MacDonald after that move, and now make his way past. Is that Danny Kent? Look at the helmet, it's got some British stripes, doesn't it, there? It's got the Union Jack. No, not quite. I think it may be Kent in front of us. As, oh, here comes Manzi from nowhere. just making a move like Hernandez is on Navarro for 28th. So halfway through this race, and it is Danny Kent down in 27. What happened to our fellow Brit? It's not a good race for the Brits in Moto2, is it? With now Xavier Simon up to 22nd ahead of Raffin and Manzi. Great move from the Italian there into the hairpin, just like we saw with Luti on that opening lap. Well, two protagonists are battling. You sneak by there, make up a couple of places. It's a good bout, fighting back from Manzi as well into the fast rights. Then you've got some fight. This race does the Italian. That home crowd cheering him on. That's behind Nakashima now, the Japanese rider in 24th. And oh, here comes Manzi again. He's not giving up on that top 25 position, but he finally has to relinquish heading into the penultimate corner with this 4th lap. Now MacDonald trying to make a move into the final corner again. He does, but he just eases into Nakashima. But he's right in the slipstream of the Japanese rider now as he crossed the line up into 24th, just about, and another 41. He's very consistent. Oh, he does it. He's making his way up. He already gets into Raffin. Poor move from MacDonald once again. So clumsy. Why is he doing that? Just outbrakes himself into that first corner. And on his 5th lap, he's back to 32nd behind Edgar. I believe it's that. No, that's the Italian, isn't it? That's Bassini. He is ahead now and going on to the back straight. Can he get a good run though through that left-hander? Yes, he can. Pass Ika up into 30th. Now there's Pons. And he's up into 29th is MacDonald. He's definitely made his home here, this race in these positions after, what's it now, 4 falls. As always, going wide. He's going down the 31st again. What are you doing, MacDonald? Definitely not very good into that hairpin this race. You can see just braking earlier and trying to set up the switchback on the exit would have been a much better move than trying to outbrake yourself into that hairpin. But he makes his way back past the Spaniard, who kind of got held up there in his own battle with Pons. So good move from MacDonald back into the top 30. But definitely Vander's bringing home the bacon for Elusive this race. And now MacDonald going round the outside like he isn't even there. Fantastic move from the Scot. He's definitely made some good moves. Unfortunately, he's sprinkled it with loads of clumsy ones. As Hernandez is up to 26th past Danny Kent, as we've got Jorge Navarro in front in 28th. The Spaniard was looking actually pretty decent in the first half of the season. He got a point. He's battling for points. Now he just seems to have dropped back slightly. So Oliveira down in 7th, doing the fastest lap with 41.1. MacDonald up to 28th, using the grass for some assistance there. That's not where you get the traction normally, but it seemed to work for him as he goes on to the penultimate out of the race in 28. Half a second behind Danny Kent. He's getting held up by Oni Hernandez there. Going through the left hand, and once again the Colombian is slowing someone down, and Nico forces way past Manzi. He doesn't want another battle with the Italian. Back into the top 25 is MacDonald, and he's making a move into the right-hander down the inside of Raffin, is he? The Swiss riders, he almost gets into the back of him as he gets held up by this back off. There's that 3 in front of him as he gets up into 23rd. He's aiming towards the top 20. A point isn't even out of the equation. Look at that group in front of this quartet as now he gets overtaken by the quartet, MacDonald, but he gets 1 place back from Raffin up in the 24, but the tyres are screeding. As you see, the half worn though, it's not too bad. It's all about condition of the bike though. You've got Nakashima in front. Can the bike hold up for this final lap and a half as Raffin's pushing MacDonald wide? He wants that 24th. They're very feisty down here, aren't they? And we've got Nakashima up to 22nd ahead of Xavier Simon, the Belgian rider with a very similar bike. It can be very confusing, but he's got a bit more blue in his bike compared to us. That's how you can tell us apart. And also, we've got Williams that are blue compared to his black. And MacDonald again making a move into that 3rd right hand, and again he is down. 3 out of 6. He's got a 50% success rate going into that corner on this race as he drops down to 31st, just ahead of Locatelli and Pisani, who are still battling for 32nd. The Italians, they're having a mega battle for that position. We've seen loads of mega battles throughout the whole of the field. Well, not least MacDonald trying to stay on the track. That's been the biggest battle of this race as he goes to the final lap in 31st. He's not going to achieve the race objective. He's not going to score points. It's all about Jack Vander. What can he do this race? Can he finally score points? Can we finally have a teammate that scores points? We will find out the end of this race, as we hoped he would have done in Silverstone. Didn't quite do it. Fell short to the South African in that final round, or last round, as now Edgar Pons drops down to 30th. Nice move from the Spaniard, and MacDonald takes advantage of the of the Spaniard being on the back foot there, overtaken by his fellow Spaniard. Now we're done up to 29th. Already not finished last this race as you've got half a lap to go. As you go into the hairpin, braking a bit early as he knows. He's getting his running right. And he's lost it. The front end's gone under braking. And MacDonald is down to last position as Pons is back past Iker for 30th. A good battle for the top 30. So we've got the Italians in front. We've got Paoli as well in 33rd now, trying to cling on to the tail of them and not bring home 33rd. It looks like for the Malaysian, but again, it's dry conditions. He's much better in the wet, is Paoli. As we go into the fast right-handers, can MacDonald make some time up on the Malaysian and not bring home the wooden spooners? He gets all onto the curb. Going into the third right-hander, he's gone wide. He's down again. He's glitching into the matrix, and what a horrible round this is for MacDonald. He can't even get the bike going. Look at that as Luti wins. Fantastic race from the Swiss veteran. Took the lead on that open lap and never relinquished it. As Iker's down in his battle for 28th with Pons. And it looks like Pons is going to win that. Paoli's up to 31st. He's not going to have the wooden speed. He's got past the Italians as well, has he? Paoli, no, he's just up to 33rd. As for MacDonald, we thought Austria was a low. So at least you can blame that on one corner. We can't blame that round two. Just blame it on MacDonald. So many poor moves and manoeuvres this race. And yeah, shake your head in shame. You're going to have a long debrief after this race, young man, as you go through the first couple of corners. And look at that. Olivia did the fast lap, but just ran out of top 5 behind Baldazari, just missing out on the podium. A second behind Alex Marquez. Morbidelli in second, and Luti winning the race with Passini 6th, Minaya 7th. The Massachusetts Zabi in 8th, Marini 9th, Quartararo 10th, Axel Pons 11th, Nakagami 12th, Shorter 13th. Vonda! There was a new kid in town for Elusive, and his name was Jack van der Voort. The South African scoring the first points for a teammate of MacDonald ever. The first time an Elusive rider apart from MacDonald has scored points ahead of Surin, who grabbed the final point by a 10th second ahead of Dominic Agata, Rabbinder 17th, Corsi 18th, Cortese 19th, and Isaac Vinales 20th. MacDonald right at the back, around 6 seconds behind Remy Gardner in the end on the Tech 3. Fourth on the lap for the Australian, but Honda is all about the South African. What a fantastic result for him as MacDonald drops down to 7th behind Passini. Alex Marquez leads by 16 points. Head of Morbidelli with Olivia a third. Luti in fourth, clinging on to the title battle even though he's quite a way back. As Nicken further down, short in 17th, Binder 18th. Vanda is the big mover up to 22nd, ahead of Remy Gardner, Jorge Navarro, Sandro Cortese and Jessica Raffin. There's now 24 riders scored points this season, and the South African is the newest one. Welcome to the gang. Manzi up to 30th, and Locatelli no longer is the holder of the wooden spoon, up to 33rd ahead of Iker. As in the constructors standings, it's 101 point lead for Calix over KTM. Tech 3 in third, 30 points ahead of Suter, who are 32 points ahead of Speeder. But what a race for Vander, the star for Elusive this weekend, going up 13 positions, virtually doubled his start position to his finishing position and scoring points. Didn't achieve the race objective. Well, Dan MacDonald definitely didn't achieve the race objective, but in Moto3, both the riders did. Despite the Cypriot starting on the front row, again a poor race down in 22nd, and the Argentine rider so consistent, started 18th, finishing in 17th, just missing out on points. Surely he's going to get a point soon. Is the Argentine rider, but fantastic race from him, and Vander improves everything. MacDonald improves nothing apart from flailing on the floor. His skills gone up 1,000-fold after that race. Throttle management gone up for the Cypriot and body position, and braking and throttle management gone up for the Argentine rider. And we've earned a decent amount of credits, barely any reputation. I wonder why. Let's look. Oh, MacDonald, you've cost us big there. You're definitely going to have a long debrief. You're going to be grounded after this race as you've got an activity to do. We're not going to do the test session, so we can go to the gym for our rides, improve their muscle endurance. You can go to the coach, improve their coordination, improve their body position ability by 20% for the next race. Do some abs and butt muscles with the coach, improve their cornering ability by 20% for the next race. Do a prize competition, improve the fixed credit race reward from your sponsors in the next race by 100%. And testing improves the part by 2 weeks, but we're not developing any parts. And I think we will go with the credits. That's screw the riders. Let's go with the credits. As next time we're going to the Motorland Aragon circuit in Spain for our third visit to Spain this season. Can Dan MacDonald recover? Can Jack Varner score more points? Can our Moto3 riders achieve the race objective? Find out next time. Sam Fulch, and I'll see you then.